Hello everybody, today we're going to be building a terrarium. Terrariums, unlike other animals that you may have, it is self-sustaining, okay? A good terrarium should be able to be sealed and will never need to be opened. With terrariums, we're able to look at food-web interactions and see how different ecological systems play out. Like I said, once you seal it, it should require minimal effort for the organism to survive. As you build your terrarium, think about each different food web interaction that will be taking place. Imagine what happens if something goes wrong with one or more of these interactions, or if something is missing, or is too rare or too common. What makes this lab so fun is that you get to manipulate different aspects of the terrarium and watch what happens. Every terrarium we will be making has 5 key ingredients. One is a glass jar with a lid. The other one is dirt. Next, moss, rock, and water. First, we will go over how to make the base model and then talk about ways that you can add some different variables to your terrarium. First step requires rock. You want about an inch of rock at the bottom of your terrarium. As you can see, mine's already a little bit wet. It had been outside. Next, pause. If one of the different variables you could add is activated charcoal, which is known to kill fungus, control bacteria, it is at this point that you would add the activated charcoal. Not all students will be doing that, so for this point we will continue on with the base model, but this is where you put a little bit of layer of activated charcoal in between the rocks, and next will be the dirt. Next, dirt. Again, we're going for about an inch of dirt. I'm gonna use the measuring cup. It's a little messy, as all science should be. Maybe just a hair more. Perfect. And I like to use a trusty chopstick to make sure that you get it somewhat good and level. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right, now you have your rock and your dirt. It should be around halfway up your little glass bottle by now. Next, each student will be provided with a 2-inch by 2-inch piece of moss. Note, some moss may be more yellow or brown than others. That is because the moss is dormant. Don't worry, it's not dead. It's just a different color. So don't be alarmed if your moss is a different color. This one is nice and green. You're going to place your moss inside. And you can, if you'd like, push it down a little bit. Try to get it closer onto that dirt, but really it should find its way just fine. Nice, perfect. And if they want to, they could break it up, put it on separate sides or whatever they feel best, because it won't quite fill the entire thing. But that looks pretty good right there. And then the last thing you will add is water. And the water, as you can see, like we said, the rock's about an inch up. The water should fill up all the way about to the top of the rock level. And it's important that you water it after it's already in so it soaks all the way down. So, water. You can start seeing it down there. Needs to get down the dirt first. And yeah, it's probably pretty nice right there. First try is a charm. As you can see, the water's right around that level, which should be perfect. And again, once you water it, you won't want to water it again. All right, so We already talked about the activated charcoal as one of the other ingredients you can get in. We also have some isopods, which is a terrestrial crustacean. It's known to eat moss, fungus, and other organic material that is decomposing. As well as there's some ladybugs. Those will eat sugars, also feeds on aphids. Soaked raisins is another thing that can be put in, a potential food for the ladybug beetles, but also could be consumed by fungus. And then yes, like we said at the end, charcoal can be added. And after everyone makes these terrariums, we will invite the class to come up with a hypothesis of what they expect to happen within each respective terrarium. So everyone's terrarium will be a little different. Some may have ladybugs, some may have ladybugs and isopods, some may just be this base model. It's important to note though, if this base model is made correctly and sealed, it should be self-sustaining for months and months on end, whereas the other variables, we're unsure what's going to happen in, and that's why we're interested. This will take several weeks. You can take it home with you. We'll ask that you bring it back to your lab where you'll collect data and then compare it to others in the class. A few things to note that's really important. It doesn't want to be too cold or too hot, so make sure you don't have it in direct sunlight. It still should get some sun, but not direct sunlight, or it can act like a greenhouse and get really hot. And also, don't leave it in your car or it will get too cold outside. So, have fun. Will your terrarium survive, or will it collapse?
Stay tuned for the next episode of Terraria Man.